In this series, Lost Arts of a Long Hunter, we're not referring to the long hunters of the 18th century coming out of Virginia with pack mules full of gear, 20-man hunting parties after financial gain. No, we're talking about our ancestors, long before the 18th century. Our ancestors knew how to use the land to their advantage. They knew how to secure meals. In them days, there was no stores, there was no help. You either learned the skills or you died. They had the ability to go out into nature because that's their home. That was their living room. That's where they lived. That's how they lived. In this series, we're going to take an in-depth look at how that may have been done. The reason we're referring to them as long hunters is because that was the long hunt. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You hunted to live. You hunted to survive. If you was a good hunter, you thrived. Our ancestors had the ability to make something out of nothing. They was able to use nature to their 100% advantage. They was able to find and resource everything from nature. Just imagine this.
How you doing? This is day one of our Long Hunter series. I've brought minimal gear with me. The gear I've brought with me is I brought my bow, my quiver. I brought 4 modern arrows. That's not going to last me this whole time, so I'm going to have to make some while I'm out. And I brought my ferro rod. I also brought my side knife and my canteen. Now, 500 years ago, I could have drank out about anything, but nowadays I can't. So the only reason I got the canteen and canteen cup is so I can render my water potable. Okay, now I feel like I'm dressed for this, but we are in the coldest months that we have here. And that's one reason I took to do this challenge now. So location is everything for this. I'm at the bottom of a hill. I can use this for my thermal advantage. Nighttime, it's usually generally warmer down low here where I'm at. I have a cedar thicket that's around me that is also going to work to my thermal advantage. Plus, I have a lot of resources that I can gather from the cedars. First thing that I usually would work on is my shelter, but in these frigid nighttime temperatures, what I'm going to work on right now is the most important thing to me is staying warm, is I'm going to have a fire. So I'm going to use these cedar trees to my advantage. I'm gathering my tinder. I'm going to use this cedar tree right here. What's useful tinder is on this is if you look, they're real stringy and fibrous. Now if you just take your knife and scrape that outer layer, that's dry. That's been in the wind. The next layer below that is what you'd use for your cordage. This outer layer is nice and dry. It makes excellent tinder. Scrape off what you're going to need. Got my tinder that I'm going to need for my bundle. The next thing I want to get is these lower. Most of the times these have dead branches down low. They're nice and dry. It's a good hard wood, so it makes a good hot fire. So I'm going to collect some of that. Breaking all them cedar fibers down, get a real light consistency. It's all light and fluffy. Still a little damp. It has been rainy here, kicked off cold. So I'm gonna give it a try. Now that I have my fire going, I know I'm going to be warm tonight. But the next most important thing to me is I'm going to gather some firewood. But at the same time, I'm going to be resourcing, gather materials. that's what I have for shelter. I just made it simple, not about two-sided debris hut, just kind of lean to threw a bunch of debris over there. I got my fire pit there. Now next thing I'm going to work on is getting wood and also building a reflector wall, because I'm going to work this to my advantage so I stay nice and warm in there tonight while it's cold outside. I found a couple rocks. I stood them up on edge and kind of braced them in there real good. Found a good dead moist log to put on top. Stacked a couple on that side. Fire's there. I'm right there. I should be good with that setup. I have my shelter, I have my fire, I have everything I need except for water, and I have water. There's some maples around where I'm at, maple trees. So this time of year, when the temperatures are getting freezing at night and up in the 30s during the day, it'll produce the sap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my knife here and I'm just going to bore a hole into this tree. Another plus about this is that is 52 calories a teaspoon. I can boil that down. I can make me some syrup. I have 52 calories a teaspoon right there. Right at my disposal off of just this one tree. Night one, pretty good. Shelter's a little small. When I got up this morning, I noticed there was more game going into this cedar thicket than there was coming out. So that tells me, that and it's the time it is right now, it should be way lighter than this. So that tells me we got some bad weather coming. I decided to move further into the thickets, further into the cedar thicket, and I decided that my shelter I had was not going to be good. So what I'm working on is that. That's what I've been working on. Got a lot of deadfall around me. Here, see if it worked. I got my head wall here I gotta finish up, and that end down there, but all I'm gonna do, I got plenty of cedar boughs. I'm gonna put cedar boughs over each end, and I don't have to go far from my firewood. It's just right there, so I'll go ahead and get my cedar boughs and get this bad boy done up, get a nice fire going. And I think tonight, last night I made a bunch of cordage, so I think tonight what I'm going to do is, I'm glad I made that last night. It's kind of going to speed up the game, because being these cedar trees like this is key. If I get a bunch of traps built, I should get a bunch of game. We'll see. A lot of things will kind of hibernate, lay back a little bit, save calories. But found me some jelly ears earlier. That's what I'm going to have for snack tonight. And so far I've had about 4 tablespoons of that syrup. I got enough. My canteen's full of sap, and so I got water and I got that syrup. It's just not protein, so tomorrow I'm going after some hardcore protein with my traps. So I'm gonna see how many traps I can put together tonight, and we'll fire going, because here in a little bit when it gets dark, I doubt I'll be able to come and see you on here. So stay tuned. If nothing else, y'all, I'll see you in the morning. Morning, day 3. Right call making this shelter. This other shelter last night. I knew something was happening. Wasn't real bad in here last night. I'm still good and dry. Fire went out. No problem. I got a little chilly this morning. About time sun was coming up. That got it. So, get me some liquids warming up here. I'll tell you, I'm about 15 degrees warmer sitting in here than I was out there. So there's a bunch of birds and stuff out. No squirrel, rabbit, nothing like that moving, which generally, first day of a snow like this, they'll all kind of hunker down for a day. But come tomorrow, they'll be out and about. I found a few walnuts and a few rose hips, things like that. So that's probably what I'm gonna deal with tonight. I'm gonna go back to camp. I'm gonna start on making me some bird traps, because there's a lot of them up here. Took a shot at one, I missed, so I'll see what happens here. I'm going to continue to hunt, so stay tuned, but ultimately I'm heading back for the camp. I'm going to work on some bird traps. It's day 3. I'm ready to eat. By tomorrow, I'll definitely be ready to eat, no doubt. First sign of animal movement, other than birds, I've seen in a couple of days. You can see it snowed quite a bit more. We got about 9 inches on the ground right now. The rain's hunkering down. Well, it's day 4. I'm going to eat. So today, I'm focusing everything I have. Traps is obsolete. So, seeing a lot of birds. So we're day 4. Success. The snow that came in again this morning kind of put a damper on putting out the traps. So I decided I was going to hunt. I was ready to eat. So I secured 3 birds, and I still got walnuts left. I got 4 or 5 walnuts left. 4. Plus there's probably more down there. I just have to go kick around in the snow and find them. But up until this point, it's just been survival. Getting shelter, things ready. Now it's going to get real. Now we are on a long hunt, which we have been since day 1. But securing the protein that I needed. Got 3 birds, and I'm cooking there. I got 4 or 5 walnuts left. I got them down there drying out, cooking real good, and kind of just drying them out a little bit. And that's how our ancestors would have done it. It wasn't always about big game.